Singapore, a small island nation, has risen to global prominence in just a few decades. But behind its rapid growth and economic success lies a story of resilience, vision, and determination. The driving force behind this transformation is none other than Lee Kuan Yew, the founding father of modern Singapore. While much of his legacy is defined by his economic policies, Lee's greatest contribution may well have been his vision for Singapore's defense. In a region fraught with uncertainty, where neighboring countries face their own internal and external struggles, Lee understood that for Singapore to survive, it needed a strong, self-reliant military. His strategic military decisions, deeply rooted in his experience and understanding of global geopolitics, would lay the foundation for Singapore's defense for decades to come. Chapter 1. The Early Years. Building the Foundation. When Singapore became an independent nation in 1965, it faced an array of challenges. A small city-state with no natural resources, Singapore was surrounded by larger, often unpredictable neighbors. This vulnerability, combined with a history of political unrest in Southeast Asia, made it clear that the nation's survival depended on more than just diplomacy and economic strategy. It needed a formidable defense force. Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore's founding father, recognized that for the tiny island to thrive in such an uncertain environment, it could not rely on external powers for protection. He understood that relying on foreign alliances, while important, would never guarantee the nation's security. Singapore's defense had to be built from the ground up, entirely within its own control. In the early years, many viewed Singapore as too small and too young to build a capable military. But Lee, drawing on his keen understanding of international relations, had a different perspective. He believed that small nations were especially vulnerable, often overlooked in global power dynamics, and easily crushed if they failed to defend themselves. Lee was acutely aware of the harsh lessons of history. Small nations that did not take their security seriously were often swallowed up by larger neighbors or external powers. As early as the 1960s, Lee began to lay the foundations for a self-sufficient defense force. He started by establishing a small but highly capable military, focusing on building a strong army, air force, and navy. The focus was on quality, not quantity. Singapore's defense had to be efficient, modern, and ready to defend its sovereignty at all costs. Despite the challenges, Lee's strategic vision for a strong military became a key pillar in ensuring Singapore's survival in a volatile region. Chapter 2. National Service. A critical decision. One of Lee Kuan Yew's most pivotal and contentious decisions was the introduction of compulsory national service, NS, for all Singaporean males. This policy, implemented in the early years following Singapore's independence, came at a time when the nation's military was still in its infancy. Singapore, with its small population and limited resources, faced numerous challenges in securing its sovereignty. Lee's insight into the importance of a strong defense system led him to realize that a small professional army, no matter how skilled, would never be sufficient to protect Singapore. Lee envisioned a defense strategy where every able-bodied man would undergo military training and contribute to the nation's security. This was not just about building a capable fighting force. It was about ensuring that every citizen understood their role in defending their homeland. In a country with limited manpower and a diverse population, national service became a means of uniting the nation. It ensured that men from all walks of life, irrespective of their ethnic background, would stand side by side in service to the country. This shared experience, regardless of race or religion, was a powerful tool for fostering national unity and creating a collective sense of purpose. Critics of national service argued that it would burden young men with a mandatory, lengthy commitment that could disrupt their education and careers. Yet Lee's foresight proved prescient. National service, far from being a hindrance, played a crucial role in shaping Singapore's military into one of the most advanced and respected in the world. The policy instilled a deep sense of duty, discipline, and patriotism in the nation's citizens. Today, Singapore's highly efficient and technologically advanced military is a direct result of Lee's strategic decision to rely on the collective strength of the nation, ensuring Singapore's defense was in the hands of every Singaporean. Chapter 3. Strategic Alliances, Learning from the Past. Lee Kuan Yew understood that alliances were an essential part of a nation's defense strategy. However, he was also deeply aware of the risks involved in relying too heavily on foreign powers. While global giants like the United States and the United Kingdom could offer vital support, Lee knew that these countries might not always prioritize Singapore's interests, especially if doing so conflicted with their own national goals. For Lee, Singapore's survival hinged on creating strong, strategic alliances while ensuring that the country was never dependent on outside forces for its security. One of Lee's most important lessons came from observing the history of Southeast Asia. He witnessed firsthand how neighboring countries, despite having alliances with major powers, struggled to protect themselves when external threats emerged. The collapse of Indochina in the 1970s, for example, demonstrated how fragile alliances could be in the face of real conflict. Lee learned that military dependence on others, while useful in the short term, could not guarantee long-term security. A country must be able to defend itself, no matter the circumstances. In 1971, Lee's strategic foresight led to Singapore's first formal military partnership with the United States, a relationship that has since grown into one of deep mutual respect and cooperation. The partnership, while important, was never seen by Lee as a replacement for Singapore's own defense capabilities. He consistently emphasized that while global powers could provide assistance, Singapore could never afford to rely solely on others for its security. Lee's vision was clear. Singapore must build a self-sufficient defense force, one that was strong enough to deter potential threats and protect the nation's sovereignty. By forging strategic alliances with the right partners, while simultaneously investing in its own military, Singapore ensured that it would always have the capability to stand on its own. Chapter 4. Investing in Modern Technology. The Visionary's Edge. Lee Kuan Yew's leadership was marked by a remarkable ability to foresee the future, especially when it came to ensuring Singapore's defense. He understood that to maintain a credible and formidable military force, Singapore would need to stay ahead of its regional adversaries, especially in terms of technological advancements. In a world where military power was increasingly defined by innovation and precision, Lee knew that technology would be key to Singapore's security. Under his leadership, Singapore made strategic investments in cutting-edge military technology, particularly in its air and naval capabilities. Recognizing that modern warfare was evolving rapidly, Lee placed a strong emphasis on equipping Singapore's armed forces with the best available equipment. The Singapore Air Force, for example, became one of the most advanced in the world. It was equipped with top-tier fighter jets, surveillance systems, and the latest radar technology. These investments ensured that Singapore could maintain air superiority and rapidly respond to potential threats, despite its small size. Lee's vision extended beyond just high-tech weaponry. He understood that technology alone wasn't enough to guarantee a nation's security. Intelligence was equally vital. In the complex world of modern warfare, knowing your enemy's movements and intentions could be the difference between peace and conflict. Lee prioritized the development of Singapore's intelligence agencies, ensuring they were equipped with state-of-the-art surveillance tools and communication systems. The result was a robust intelligence network that could detect threats early, allowing Singapore to make informed and timely decisions. Even though these advancements came with significant financial costs, Lee's foresight proved invaluable. By investing in modern military technology and intelligence capabilities, he ensured that Singapore's defense could stand up to any challenge, and his commitment to these investments played a crucial role in the nation's security and global standing. Chapter 5. The Impact of Lee's Vision on Singapore's Global Position. Lee Kuan Yew's vision for a strong, self-reliant military had far-reaching consequences not just for Singapore's defense, but also for its position on the global stage. Under his leadership, Singapore's military evolved from a fledgling force into one of the most respected and technologically advanced in the world. Lee understood that for Singapore to be taken seriously in the international arena, it had to be able to defend itself. But more than just having a capable military, he recognized that Singapore's military strength would be an invaluable asset in its broader diplomatic strategy. Lee was a master strategist, always thinking years, even decades ahead. He knew that military power wasn't just for protection, It was also a tool for diplomacy. With a strong and well-equipped military, Singapore could confidently engage in international negotiations from a position of strength. Lee leveraged Singapore's defense capabilities to foster its relationships with other nations, securing favorable trade deals and forging alliances that would enhance its global standing. A nation's defense is often seen as a reflection of its power and credibility, and Singapore's military strength gave it leverage in international diplomacy. Lee knew that being a small nation didn't mean being weak, and he used Singapore's defense force as a symbol of resilience and determination. With a robust military, Singapore could safeguard its sovereignty and ensure that its voice was heard in the halls of global decision-making. By the time Lee stepped down as prime minister, Singapore had established itself as a regional power, not just in economic terms, but also in military and diplomatic matters. Lee's vision for a strong defense force became the cornerstone of Singapore's strategy for survival and prosperity, setting the nation up for long-term success and security in an unpredictable world. Chapter 6: Lee's Lasting Legacy, a Strong Defense for the Future. Lee Kuan Yew's leadership may have come to an end, but the enduring legacy of his vision for Singapore's defense continues to shape the nation's military strategy to this day. Under Lee's guidance, Singapore's military transformed into one of the most advanced and powerful forces in Southeast Asia. The strategic decisions he made laid the foundation for a defense system that is still revered worldwide. His military vision ensured that Singapore would not only survive, but thrive in a region where stability is never guaranteed. However, Lee's legacy extends beyond military hardware and technological superiority. While the weaponry and strategic alliances he forged were crucial, his most lasting contribution was his belief that the defense of Singapore was the responsibility of every citizen. This philosophy led to the creation of National Service, NS, which despite initial controversy has become a cornerstone of Singapore's defense system. Today, National Service is seen not just as a military obligation, but as a unifying force that fosters a deep sense of shared purpose and patriotism among Singaporeans. It has created a bond among citizens that transcends ethnic and racial lines, with all men, regardless of their background, coming together to defend their nation. Lee Kuan Yew understood that a strong military was not merely about weapons, but about the collective spirit of the people. It was about ensuring that every Singaporean felt personally responsible for the nation's security. His foresight and determination have made Singapore's defense not just a matter of preparedness, but a reflection of the resilience and unity of its people. Today, thanks to Lee's vision, Singapore stands as a powerful symbol of what a small nation can achieve with the right strategy, leadership, and collective will. The defense of the country is now deeply embedded in the nation's identity, and its military strength is a testament to the enduring power of Lee's legacy. Conclusion: Lee Kuan Yew's vision for a strong military was crucial to Singapore's survival and its remarkable transformation into a global power. His strategic decisions, ranging from the establishment of national service to investing in cutting-edge technology and building key international alliances, were all integral to turning Singapore from a small, vulnerable nation into one of the most formidable and respected states in Southeast Asia. Lee's legacy lives on in Singapore's defense policies today, ensuring that the nation remains strong, secure, and self-reliant for generations to come. His foresight and leadership have shaped a defense strategy that not only protects Singapore but also solidifies its position on the world stage. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights on Singapore's history, leadership, and military strategy. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What aspect of Lee Kuan Yew's vision do you think was the most impactful? We'd love to hear from you.